We are just a few days away from NXT Heatwave, and once again, NXT is making history because for the first time ever, the TNA Knockouts World Title will be defended on NXT soil. Well, we will get to that match a little later on in this video. As of right now, there are 6 matches on the card, including including three including 3 title matches, a mixed tag team match, a grudge match, and this first match that I will be talking about in this video, which is a triple threat where the winner will face JC Jane for the NXT Women's title at a later time between Jada Parker, Kalani Jordan, and Lola Vice. All 3 women have had so much momentum ever since Evolution late last month. Interestingly enough, Lola Vice has had even more momentum ever since her match this past Saturday, literally just this past Saturday at Worlds Collide, where we saw Lola Vice team up with Mr. Iguana and Nino Hamburguese. I'm like butchering the name. I'm so like butchering the name. I wanna say that was the name, but I can look it up thanks to my Hamburguesa. Hamburguesa is the name. Okay. As they fought against the Judgment Days of Raquel Rodriguez and of course the tag team champions Finn Balor and JD McDonough. Huge match. Yes, Lola's team may have lost, but she does have even more momentum going into this triple threat on Sunday than she's ever had before. Obviously, yes, we know that there is a mutual respect, both personally and professionally, for when it comes to all 3 women. But even they know that when it comes to the NXT Women's title, there are no friends. It is every woman for themselves, and the hell with everything else. This could probably be one of the most intense triple threats we will ever see in NXT. But if I were to pick one person that I would want to win win this triple threat, I would have to say Lola Vice. And the reason why I say that is because of the momentum that she's had over the last few weeks, which dates back to I can't speak. Which dates back to Evolution, where she competed in that battle royal where the winner would receive a title shot at Clash in Paris, which we found out. Breaking news, we found out that Clash in Paris will be the final premium live event on Peacock for the main roster. After Clash in Paris, all the other premium live events will go straight to ESPN. So you guys have better subscribe to ESPN now, because you guys only have a month. Actually, I'm the one to talk because I don't have ESPN yet, but still, we all have better subscribe to ESPN because we only have less than a month before WrestlePalooza, which was originally an ECW pay-per-view, now is part of the WWE. As far as why they're doing it now, I'll be talking about that in my vlog a little later today, where I'm taking what's in this box and getting them graded. Yes, funny enough, I am getting a couple of my Yu-Gi-Oh cards graded over to PSA through GameStop. So you will be seeing that vlog a little later on today. So be sure to get ready for that. But I will talk about the big WWE changes in that vlog a little later today. So be sure to get ready for that. I will say that whichever two cards that I decide to get graded, that's gonna be a very interesting part two, because there'll be two parts to that vlog. The first part will be me sending them over to GameStop, and then the second part will be me excuse me, will be me going back to GameStop to reveal the grades and potentially get more cards graded if I'm able to. But again, stay tuned for that for that vlog. But Clash in Paris will be the final PLE on Peacock. Again, you'll be seeing that vlog a little later today, but with the can't speak. Excuse me. With the momentum that Lola Vice has had since Evolution, she has brought in a huge she's racked up a pretty huge amount of wins over the last several weeks, which again dates back to Evolution. Even though she got eliminated from that battle royal, she brought in quite a few victories, and this would be probably one of the biggest victories of Lola Vice's career. Excuse me, if she is able to pull it off. Can she though? Absolutely, she 100% can pull it off, but that's who I believe is going to be the odds-on favorite. As far as who I think is going to win, I would have to say Jada Parker. I think because that she hasn't had that many opportunities to add championship gold in the last few months, now would be the time to put the NXT Women's title onto Jada Parker. And who knows? I mean, only time will tell if Jada Parker can actually become NXT Women's Champion. That remains to be seen. But the odds-on favorite definitely is going to be Lola Vice. But if I had to make a bold prediction, it would have to be Jada Parker. Next up is the mixed tag team match between the U.S. and Canada. Who would have ever thought? On the U.S. side of things, it is Tavion Heights and, of course, the first ever female Olympic gold medalist in WWE history. Obviously, I am referring to the Season 1 winner of LFG, Tyra May Steele, taking on the team of Chelsea Green and the NXT North American Champion, Ethan Page. This is actually a huge opportunity for Tavion Heights, because if he pins Ethan Page, he's in line for a shot at the NXT North American title. Think about that, guys. Think about that. Tavion Heights, ever since he left the NQCC, the No Quarter Catch Crew, he's made a lot of heads spin. He has turned a lot of heads and really opened the eyes of not only the WWE fans, but also NXT management as well, which has given him even more opportunities than we've ever seen anyone receive in a long time. This being one of them. Being able to compete on a premium live event as a solo act is the best thing for Tavion Heights. And when you really think about it, we've seen Tyra May Steele compete on WWE Evolve over the last month and a half or so, even though she was supposed to be a part of the NXT roster, she has decided to go to Evolve. Why though? No one knows. No one knows why, but apparently rumor has it that apparently it has a lot to do with the fact that she wanted to be sure that she was ready, that she was ready for NXT. And I think this match alone will be it will definitely prove excuse me. This will definitely give us an idea of how good Tyra May Steele can be, and this will also prove, this will also force Tyra May Steele to prove to the entire NXT locker room that she is ready for the NXT women's division. But if her team loses, I mean, there's no telling what will be next for them. But I can honestly say that with Chelsea Green and Ethan Page, their egos, no pun intended, with Ethan Page being all ego, but their egos are so massive. I wouldn't be surprised if Chelsea Green turned on Ethan Page. Excuse me. Or if Ethan Page turns on Chelsea Green. I honestly would not be surprised. But however, I will be surprised if they're able to withstand one another throughout the duration of the match. But if I had to pick, crazy as it sounds, I would have to say I'm gonna have to pick Chelsea Green and Ethan Page. I think just because of the fact that, yes, Tavion Heights has competed on the PLEs of NXT in the past. This is the first time that he's competing on an NXT PLE as a solo act. And when you've broken out of a faction or a tag team and you're starting out as a solo act, oftentimes you'll end up wanting to find a new tag team partner and try to do something with it. But it's probably gonna backfire on Tavion Heights. So my prediction is definitely going to be Chelsea Green and Ethan Page. But next up, speaking of TNA, next up is the TNA Knockouts World Title under triple threat rules between the champion JC Jane and of course Masha Slamovich, the former champion, and Ash by Elegance, part of the Elegance brand in TNA. This is actually a massive ordeal for JC Jane because now the odds are against her. She's going up against two current TNA stars who want to bring the TNA Knockouts title back to TNA. But let's be real. The last time there was a triple threat for a TNA championship, Trick Williams at Slammiversary. Was it Slammiversary? Yeah, I believe it was Slammiversary. At Slammiversary, Trick Williams retained the TNA world title against both Joe Hendry and Mike Santana. This time, I don't think things will be any different with JC Jane because obviously she's got Fatal Influence backing her up. Ash by Elegance has the rest of the Elegance brand, and Masha Slamovich, she's kind of on her own at this point in time. She's kind of on her own, but apparently from from what I have seen on social media, apparently, Masha Slamovich has acquired the help of Xia Brookside and Lei Ying Lee, who was once known as Xia Li in WWE. So apparently, all three women, they have their own form of backup, um, which, my honest opinion, if I had to make a bold prediction of who I would want to see walk out of Heatwave, the TNA Knockouts champion, it would have to be JC Jane, and the reason for it is because it's, as I said, Trick Williams retained his title at Slammiversary in a triple threat. How will this Sunday be any different when it comes to JC Jane? Honestly, I don't think it will. I don't think it will be any different. So I'm going to predict JC Jane walking out still TNA Knockouts champion. Speaking of having the odds stacked against you, next up is the NXT tag team titles between the current champions Hank and Tank and Dark State. You heard me right. Dark State gets an opportunity at Championship Gold. Here's where things get interesting. No one knows which two members of Dark State is going to get that is going to get that title opportunity. For all we know, it could be Cutler James and Osiris Griffin, or it could be Dion Lennox and Shaquan Sugars, or it could be Sugars and Cutler James, or it could be Dion Lennox and Osiris Griffin, or it could be Sugars and Griffin. The combinations are so endless. There's no telling. There's really no telling. And if I'm being real, as big of a fan as I am of Hank and Tank, I think we're gonna be seeing new tag team champions. So my money is on Dark State. I think Dark State is gonna have that huge advantage of Hank and Tank not knowing which two members are going to be in the match, and that right there will be the tag team champions' ultimate downfall, is not knowing or preparing for which two members are going to compete for those tag team titles. So it'll be interesting. It will be very interesting, to say the very least, but my money is definitely on Dark State. Next up is the NXT title match that is probably going to be the main event. It's either that or the triple threat for the TNA Knockouts title. But this match for the NXT title, Obafemi defends against Javon Evans, who actually defeated Trick Williams this past Tuesday on NXT with the distraction of Mike Santana from out of nowhere. I will say Obafemi has been very, very dominant as NXT champion. I mean, think of the guys that he has been in the ring with, right? He's been in the ring with guys like Trick Williams, guys like Javon Evans. He's been in the ring with all four members of Dark State. He's been in the ring with Moose. Who else can I name? Just to name a few, right? Like, he's been in the ring with some heavy hitters. But this one might just be one of the biggest challenges, not only for Obafemi, but also for Javon Evans as well, because he has an opportunity to become the youngest NXT champion ever. And I believe the youngest, if I remember right, I want to see about something. I believe the youngest, let's see. I believe the youngest NXT champion, it was actually none other than Bo Dallas, aka Uncle Howdy, who actually won the title literally just almost 3 weeks after his 23rd birthday. So he was 23 when he became champion. And as of right now, the oldest champion is actually Samoa Joe at the age of 42. So interestingly enough, Samoa Joe actually is actually the only 3-time NXT champion of all time. Like, he's the only person to win the NXT championship 3 times. So no one else has been able to do that. Those who have won the NXT title twice, they're all on the main roster or they're backstage producers. Guys like Shinsuke Nakamura, guys like my God, Tommaso Ciampa, just to name a couple. Those guys are the only 2-time NXT champions ever, and even, also Finn Balor. Finn Balor is another one as well. But again, this is a huge opportunity for Evans because he could be the youngest champion ever, and I think like 20 or 21 years old, which would be very, very historic. Who knows? Maybe he could be on the Guinness Book of World Records for the youngest champion ever. It's possible. I mean, I know that Natalia's has quite a few Guinness World Records in her resume. So maybe Javon Evans? Who knows? But let's be real. The last time Javon Evans battled Obafemi one-on-one, it wasn't pretty. But some people believe that at that time Javon Evans wasn't ready. People believe that at that time Javon Evans didn't have what it takes to step up to a guy like Trick Williams or a guy like Obafemi. Now, because that he was given the stamp of approval by none other than WWE Hall of Famer The Undertaker, many people believe that now is the time for Javon Evans to become NXT champion. But one of the biggest downsides of that whole ordeal is the fact that Trick Williams could potentially get involved in that match, forcing a disqualification. Thus Obafemi retains the NXT title. However, even if Obafemi does retain his title, Javon Evans will definitely be able to hold his head held high, knowing full well that he went toe to toe with a dude like Obafemi, and Obafemi is probably one of the most dominant champions in NXT history. I would probably say even more dominant than Adam Cole, baby. Yes, you heard me right. Adam Cole holds the record for the longest reign as NXT champion of 404 days, and that's just in a single run. That's in a single run, which is massive. So, who wins? My opinion, Obafemi. I think the power game is just gonna be too much for Javon Evans, and I think that's what's gonna give Obafemi the edge he needs to walk out as champion. But that brings us to the final match of the card, which was actually the first match announced for Heatwave between Jordynne Grace and Blake Monroe, which dates all the way back to Evolution, where Blake Monroe stabbed Jordynne Grace in the back, costing her the NXT Women's title. And it's weird because in a way, this is all on Jordynne Grace. She's the one that insisted to Blake Monroe to be in her corner for her match against JC Jane. To which at that time the winner would have to defend the title against Masha Slamovich and the TNA Knockouts Championship at that time. JC Jane walked out as champion because of Blake Monroe. And that's all on Jordynne Grace. But obviously Grace has been pissed off over the last few weeks by that. So she has decided to, well, try to come up with ways to jump Blake Monroe, but now she will get her hands on Blake this Sunday, and it ain't gonna be pretty. Um, to be fair, we don't know much about Blake Monroe in the ring anyway. I mean, I know that she from what I remember from from social media, I know that that she worked with AEW if I remember correctly, from what I had seen on social media. But at that time, her championship accolades were a bit like niche at that time. But I think her in WWE was is pretty damn perfect because she would be able to finally showcase her talent to the entire world, whereas opposed to AEW, from what I remember, she didn't really show off her talent that much. Excuse me, from what I from what I hear, but I will say that this is going to be a very intense matchup, to say the very least. But as long as Jordynne Grace keeps her emotions in check, she could potentially walk out with that dub. But knowing Blake Monroe, she'll definitely find ways to exploit that and use that to her advantage. So I think I'm gonna put my if I was a betting man, I would put my money on Blake Monroe. And with that being said, that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more premium live event predictions and results in the future, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.